So according to CNN, Tracy Morgan found out that he and Nas are cousins, third remove on his mother's side. They've been very good friends for years, but when they found out they were cousins, they were elated and both of them were crying. So Tracy said he decided to do a DNA test, just to find out about his ancestry. And so he contacted Dr. Henry Louis Gates. You guys know Dr. Gates. Try to keep it interesting. He always tell his clients, guess who you're related to? And so Tracy was kind of puzzled. And Dr. Gates says, turn the last page to see who you're related to. When he turned the last page, he said he could not believe who was staring at him. He said he was looking at himself and he was looking at Nas, staring at him. He could not believe that this man, this rapper, this well-known rapper, this now, I guess, an icon, because Nas is up there in icon status. He could not believe that was his cousin. He thought, I guess, he was the only celebrity in the family, but little did he know. Now he knows that Nas is also a celebrity in his own family. So both of these guys, I'm so happy for them that they were able to connect. They were able to find each other through DNA. Kudos and big up to Dr. Henry Louis Gates for connecting another family who otherwise would not have even known they were family. He said he couldn't believe his eyes. He broke down in tears. He said you cannot go through the process without crying. But it's no secret that Tracy and Nas has always been close. He said when he was on Comedy Central, he was doing a show, and he kind of honored Nas's mom because she had just passed away by shouting out the mic to Nas. And it was like a shout out for Nas's mom who had just passed away, not knowing he was related to the mother. So Tracy said when he found out about the good news, he called Nas up and he said, yo, Esco, guess what? We're related. And he calls him Esco, a very endearing name. How sweet. It's kind of a nickname he has for him. But these two are elated that they are related. And Tracy said to Nas, if I can do anything for you, please reach out. And Nas said the same thing to him. They sincerely love each other. Well, they liked each other in the past, but now I'm sure they're going to love upon each other because they're related, they're family. So Dr. Gates went back 400 years on mother and father's side. And that's how he does it, because he's got to go back to Africa at a point where those slaves are being taken out to come to the shores of America and all over the Caribbean, the West Indies, Mexico, as well as a lot of other countries that you may not even realize that slaves went to when they went on that auction block. Once they came from Africa, they were sold on that auction block and primarily went to America, the Caribbean, and the West Indies. But they went to a lot of other countries as well. Case in point, Mexico have a large population of Africans whose ancestors came directly from Africa. So he's got to go back to Africa. So 400 years back, he went, did a trace on Tracy's mother and Tracy's father's ancestry, and this is what he came up with. Nas's family is actually related to Tracy's family. So he said he thought that he was big until he learned what his great-great-great-grandmother did. He said he learned about the people, about a ship that brought them to America. I guess it must have been a very humbling experience to know that your ancestors did that voyage, a very horrifying voyage, and survived, and you are the end result. So he says by the time you sit there and you find out all about your ancestral roots, you're in tears. You are completely gone. You have lost it. And for a lot of people, they really put themselves in their ancestor's shoe. Because I remember seeing roots when I was, way back then. And let me tell you, if I hear anything about any slavery in my family, any family member who went through it, I put myself in that shoe, and I can really empathize and sympathize with what they must have gone through. So Tracy Morgan said he did a lot of crying, and no matter who you are, how big you think you are going to break down and cry. That's how emotional it gets. Case in point, Questlove. He found out that his folks, his ancestors, came on the last ship that brought slaves to America. Can you imagine? The very last ship, and your ancestors are on that ship. Oh my goodness. They said he broke down and cried like a baby, because it's a hell of a thing to realize how close his ancestors came to not coming to America, the very last ship. And millions of people got transported throughout the years, but your ancestors were on the last ship. And it's a what if. What if the last ship did not disembark and hit the shores of America? What if his ancestors maybe were hiding in the bushes somewhere in the jungle and they did not make that last ship? It's a lot of what ifs, isn't it? But getting back to Tracy Morgan and his ancestry story, it's quite interesting nonetheless, because look who he is connected to. He and Nas are cousins, as if one celebrity in the family isn't enough. So once again, Dr. Henry Louis Gates got another family together who did not even know they were related. And so we gotta say big up, big up, big up to Dr. Henry Louis Gates. And what a good time of year for this celebration, folks. It's Christmas time, it's Thanksgiving time, the New Year is coming up. What a great time to find out that you are related to Nas. And so the party will start and it will continue throughout the new year. I am sure these two are going to be tighter than tight. They were close before, but now they're even going to be closer. This is why it's a good idea to get a DNA done on yourself, especially the African diaspora coming out of Africa. We don't know our extended family from way back when because we were all split up. So it's a good idea to get a DNA. Your cousin, your third cousin, fourth cousin, fifth cousin might be living right next to you. You might be in a class with that person. You might be, yes, married to a family member, I hate to say. In Tracy Morgan's case and Nas's case, they found out they were third cousins on the mother's side. A lot of people call that 3 times removed. CNN carried that story, and isn't it a lovely story? At this time of year, of so much joy and cheering and love in the air just from holiday ties and what the holiday means to everyone. Everyone has a different perspective, but this is a great time of year to discover that you have an extended family, a family member that you didn't even know you had. What a fantastic story for the holidays, guys, especially around the holidays. You want to hear those good, cheery stories that can get you through the holiday blues. So let's hear this story told in the words of Tracy Morgan himself.
The last question he asks you, he says, we want to know who did this show that you're related to. Mr. Morgan, when you turn the last page, and guess who's sitting there? Nas. Me and Nas is third cousins on my mother's side. Me and Esco, but me and Esco was always tight before that. I did a show years ago on Comedy Central, a special called One Mic. That was for Nas' mom that just passed away. And I named my special One Mic. So me and Esco always been tight. But then when I found out on the West Side Highway, after I did the show, I called him up. And I said, yo, Esco. He said, what up, Trey? I said, guess what? He said, what? I said, I just didn't find my roots. Me and you related. He started crying. I started crying. And I said to him, if you ever need me, I'm there. Cuz he said, cuz, if you ever need me, I'm there.
Wasn't that a wonderful story? Drop your comments in the comments section. Let me know how you feel about that feel-good story. Guys, I'm over and out. Don't forget to hit the like bell as you come onto the page. If you haven't done so in the beginning, please do so at the end before you leave. And also, subscribe if you haven't done so as yet. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.